Hey everyone, today we're gonna make some puff pastry and we're using a blitz recipe over here. It's just a little bit quicker than the traditional puff pastry today, so let's get right into it over here. I've got 4 cups of flour, 450 grams, and I've removed a half cup of flour, so I've got a half cup of flour just set aside for dusting flour as we're cooking over here. Into this flour, I'm gonna go right in with a teaspoon of salt, and then I've got not 1, not 2, not 3. I have 4 sticks of butter. This is a diet recipe. And I'm just gonna chop these into some pretty large cubes over here. And I'm just gonna use the cut and rub method to just rub these for a minute or so to break down some of these cubes. And then we'll roll this dough to make layers of flour dough and butter, and that butter in the oven will puff up and get so beautiful. So we're getting puff pastry today. I've got a cup of Arctic water. It is from the Arctic over here, so it is icy cold. You want icy cold water to set that butter. I don't want to overhydrate this dough, make it nice and soggy. So I just do the water little by little. Some days I use that whole cup, some days I use closer to 3/4 cup. And so I got my dough in the bowl over here. I've added enough water so that it all is holding together in one ball. And so I'm gonna roll it into a nice long rectangle over here. About 2 feet by 1.5 feet. That looks like about 2 feet by 1.5 feet, right? I'll fold that in towards the center. I'll do the same on the other side. And so my 2 pieces are meeting, they're about half and half. And then we'll go ahead and just fold that in half. We just did a book fold over here. It's the half fold, fold in half again. We're gonna do 5 of those total to get that nice lamination. As you're doing this, if your dough is getting really warm, you feel that butter is super soft, give it a 30-minute refrigeration period just so that gluten can relax, that butter can re-solidify. Sometimes things get out of shape and out of whack, and so I always just kind of press with my hands, pull the rolling pin in, do anything I can to make it as rectangular as possible. I got my dough ready to go here. I've done my 5 folds. I did a few resting periods because that butter was getting warm. And so I'm gonna wrap this up, let it sit overnight in the fridge just so that butter can re-solidify and that gluten can develop. But the last thing I like to show, just so you know what you're looking for little layers of butter that you'll see throughout the dough. That is the lamination that we just did. All of those folds are us folding that butter into the dough. As it bakes, those little butter pockets will rise up, give you that crispy, flaky, buttery pastry that we're looking for. So much better than store-bought because we're using butter. So much good butter. But enjoy, and yeah, just let that rest before you use it to make Napoleon, make these Pop-Tarts we got going on, make anything you want with it.